Hey, what is up, Internet? Kyle here, Slapshot Toys, doing another Hot Toys review. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the television masterpiece series, Netflix Daredevil Punisher. Now, I was able to get this figure from Sideshow Collectibles, and at the time of the recording, this is still available on their website, so if you have any interest in this figure, the link to purchase it will be in the description below. This is perfect timing because actually today they released a final trailer for the Solo Punisher Netflix series, as well as gave us the date, I believe it's November 17th. So, super excited for that series, and this couldn't have come at a better time, so I'm super excited to see how this figure turned out. But let's not delay that any further. To the light box! And here's Punisher out of the packaging, and holy crap, I did not expect to like this figure as much as I do. Everything from the spot-on face sculpt to the arsenal of accessories to just the wonderful details in the vest, in the coat, just everything screams Punisher and just honestly looks completely badass like Punisher should. I do have a few little gripes with the figure, but I'll get to those here in a second. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that Punisher comes with. The first accessory I want to take a look at is going to be the stand. Now, this is where I do have some gripes with this figure, and that is because they've given us the exact same stand that they gave us with the Netflix Daredevil Hot Toy, and I'm perfectly fine with them reusing stands, especially kind of like the streetscape that we get here with like the little simulated puddles and those type of things, because Punisher is a very street-level character, and I think that works well with the aesthetic of Punisher. However, my big gripe is, why in the world don't we have an actual Punisher nameplate? I mean, these things can't cost more than 10 cents to produce, and they give us just the exact same Daredevil one as it came with the Daredevil figure. This is not a Daredevil figure. I get that he is part of the Daredevil show, but he should have an actual Punisher name plaque. And I think for the amount of money that we spend on these figures, it was kind of really lazy of Hot Toys to give us just a Daredevil branded stand without any mention of the Punisher at all. Hot Toys has given us a ton of hand displaying options. We actually get 5 full sets of hands. We get the closed fists. We get these open fists that actually allow him to hold the top of the Gatling gun and the knife. We also get these trigger fingers. We get these slightly open hands and then these fully open hands. And taking a closer look at the sculpt detail on these hands, these things are sculpted absolutely beautifully. So you get like this just absolutely wonderful vein work there on the back of the hand that looks really good. You get like all like the little creases and folds there on the knuckles. That looks awesome. I love the skin tone that they use, that real nice kind of tan, and then you actually get almost kind of like a splotchy little pink and different little highlights there across the knuckles and things, and I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Fingernails also came out really cool. And then here at the bottom, I mean, look at all that detail. You get like all like the actual little fingerprints and everything all sculpted out. Just looks absolutely brilliant. And it wouldn't be a Punisher figure if it didn't come with an unbelievable arsenal of weapons, and Hot Toys definitely delivered on that front. There's so many to pick from right now. I'm actually going to start with probably my favorite, which is actually this little minigun, Gatling gun, whatever you want to call it. And this thing is sculpted just absolutely beautifully. I mean, just all the detail. I love this like really nice like matte black that they used, but then they had like to kind of simulate like wear and tear on it. You get like that nice little silver kind of wearing there on the drum right there. That looks just absolutely sick. And then you get back here all the little wires going to the different mechanisms and all that. I'm not much of a gun guy, so I don't actually know any of the terms or anything like that, so sorry if you are, and I'm absolutely butchering them, calling them drums and things like that, but yeah, this thing just looks absolutely awesome. And then there are a couple little moving parts, so like the barrel actually here does spin, which I think is a really nice touch. It would have been kind of cool with like battery operated or something like that, and it could actually have it spinning while it was displayed. And then you are given one ribbon, like one like really nice soft rubber ribbon of all the bullets. I mean, you see like all the bullets there sculpted out in wonderful detail. And then actually what you do here is you have a little slot right here, and you see those two like little peg holes. Actually, it's on this end. On this end of the ribbon, there's actually 2 holes right there as well. And then those just plug right in. If I can get them, this was a little bit hard the other day to actually get it. Yep, so you just plug it in like that, and then you actually have the ribbon, the bullet ribbon, to go with the minigun. Next thing I want to take a look at is this amazing sniper rifle. Now, once again, much like the minigun, this thing is just detailed out wonderfully. You get that really nice matte black again. I love this color that they used on these guns. It just makes it look really nice with a couple little silver accents throughout to make it really pop. Once again, this thing, other than the detail, this does have a lot of moving parts as well. So you can actually pull this little guy back and lock that into place there. The clip actually does come out, and if you look closely here, you can actually see bullets that are all sculpted out with a really nice kind of gold paint actually in the clip. And I mean, it's just like little details like that that are just flat out awesome. You can actually remove the scope and move it into different positions on the rifle itself, and then the actual stock back here does open and close. And they just, I mean, just the amount of detail that they put in these things is just unreal. And taking just a closer look here at the little pistol, this thing looks absolutely awesome as well. Once again, you get that nice matte black color, a little bit of silver there on the trigger and the hammer. And then this part, actually, sorry, I don't know gun terms, so I don't know what it's actually called, but that does actually spin. That's really cool. And then there are some bullets actually sculpted out and painted in there. And this thing just looks really cool as well. And then the last weapon we are given is this hunting knife, and this thing really looks cool as well for as limited sculpting as it has. Not a whole lot going on there on the blade. Once again, you just get that nice matte black. A little bit of silver there on the actual edge of the blade. That looks really good. And then coming down the handle, you get like this kind of brown burgundy color, and then some black lines sculpted in there. And then we are actually given the actual holder for this knife as well, and that slides very nicely into place. And then the actual strap here up at the top is actually held together by two little magnets. You can kind of see them. Sorry, it's not focusing very well. You can kind of see it right there on the strap. And then you actually can just somehow get those two together, and then it closes very nicely. Next accessory that Hot Toys has given us is this Daredevil mask. Now, this is the first mask that Punisher actually broke during the beginning of Season 2, and this thing just looks really cool. Now, unfortunately, this actually isn't able to be placed on the Hot Toys Daredevil. That would have been really, really freaking cool if it was, but it's just a little prop for Punisher to hold, but it's detailed out really nicely. Really like that dark red that they use, and then that like really nice carbon fiber texture there in the black. This just looks really cool, and those translucent red eyes. It's just a really cool accessory that Hot Toys has given us. Now, I don't know if you would normally consider this an accessory, but the last thing Hot Toys has given us is the leather trench coat that Punisher uses. And this thing is just really, really nice. You get this like real nice kind of pleather texture, and it just really looks like real leather. And then you get all the stitch work throughout. That looks really, really good. And then kind of come in here to the back, just more of like the really nice leather texture and then more stitching. This thing just looks like a little real leather jacket. One cool thing that Hot Toys has done is actually put a bendy wire here in the actual seams. It doesn't hold as well as the Doctor Strange cloak bendy wires, but it does allow just a little bit kind of sense of motion, and it allows you to kind of pose the jacket to flow with Frank a little bit better in the poses that you will get him in. And the other cool thing that they did is they did put in two little magnets. You can kind of see the outline right there. One right here and this side of the chest, and then one on this side. And what that does is actually keeps these, I don't know what, the collar actually kind of down and sits flat against the jacket, as well as I believe there are also magnets in the bulletproof vest that actually hold it very nicely against his chest, so you don't get a lot of bunching or anything like that, and it looks just very natural. Taking a closer look actually at the figure itself, I think Hot Toys just absolutely nailed the face sculpt. So as we can see here, I mean, this just absolutely screams John Barenthal. I just love the flesh tone that they used, and especially like all the details. So you get like that really nice 5 o'clock shadow, and you can get like the little cut there on the cheek. That looks really good. Everything, like as far as the hair, it looks absolutely brilliant. I love the way they sculpted all this out. So it's like you get that really nice wavy look, and then it does come down to the fade there at the side. I mean, just the paint apps on this look awesome. And then one kind of definitely notable feature of John Barenthal is his ears. And I really feel that they nailed those on this sculpt, and it just looks, it's got a really nice, like very determined, very emotional, just very kind of angry expression on this face. So you definitely know he's kind of pissed off, and definitely the Punisher. But coming down actually to the suit itself, I mean, this bulletproof vest just looks absolutely wonderful. So you get like the skull just came out awesome. So it actually looks like it is kind of airbrushed or spray painted on, and I love how it's kind of missing some of the parts and everything, and it just different like tones depending on where you look at it. It just looks really, really cool. But I mean, this bulletproof vest is just absolutely unreal with all the detail it has on it. So I mean, you look down here, you see all the individual straps, and these are actual fabric straps, not just sculpted plastic. You get all like the little like holders here for different grenades, bullets, all those type of things. You get the buckles. I mean, you get like the little kind of braces here. I mean, just all the straps, all the detail is just insane. You get all that stitching work. I mean, oh, it's just unreal how much detail they got in this thing. I mean, come over here to the side, moving up his arm here. I mean, look at all that. Like you got all these silver, really nice silver strap buckles right here. You got the straps coming back, and they all move with the figure and just look fantastic. And then coming back here to the back, not a whole lot going on, just a couple more of like the armor plating, a lot of that stitching detail. It looks really, really good. And then coming over here to the side again, you just get more of the straps. I mean, this thing just looks. Oh, I'm absolutely in love with this figure. It's really freaking cool. Pants, not a whole lot going on, and he does just have that really nice kind of, it's almost like an Under Armour style material for the black under t-shirt. So that works really, really well. Legs, not a whole lot going on, just your basic kind of black cargo pants. A little bit of stitching detail, but it's just really black fabric, not a whole lot. And now the boots. Unfortunately, if you guys watched my Daredevil Hot Toys video, you guys kind of saw my frustration with how Hot Toys is starting to give the boots almost a two piece, so the articulation's a little bit better. They've done it again here with Punisher. Normally I go over this a little bit more in the articulation spot since it does have to do with articulation, but I'm going to do it here. But I mean, it's sculpted out extremely nicely. I love like all the detail that they actually put in those boots. You get all like the stitching work. The tread looks really, really cool. I mean, it definitely looks like combat boots, and I really like that aspect of it. But instead of giving us one solid boot, once again, they have given us two pieces, and I really feel like that takes away, like, it really kind of shows that he's an action figure. Now, I understand Punisher, like, with the arms and things like that, since it's more flesh than an actual full suit, you do see that a lot too. But with the legs, I can put the coat to kind of cover up these. With the legs, there's nothing I can do. And the thing that really bothers me about this one is, so where Daredevils, they were a little bit more cohesive. This one, there's definitely a huge gap, as you can see here. And depending on how you have it molded, like you get some like really weird, so like look at that. Like you get a lot of kind of, the way they did the articulation, which is great, it's giving us a lot of range of motion, but it comes up with some like really kind of awkward, some really weird looks that I really have to be very careful in trying to repiece together and things like that. I just wish Hot Toys would do the solid boots and not, especially on characters that may not have the most dynamic poses. I don't think that these two-piece boots are very necessary. And that's a little bit frustrating that they did include it on this Punisher figure. Here's a closer look at the articulation of this figure. It is actually extremely, extremely good. So as far as head movement, we do get side to side. He can rotate all the way around if you really want him to, if you want to pull an Exorcist type thing. I mean, it is October, so it is kind of Halloween. He can look up quite a bit, so you get about that much range of motion looking up. And then he can look down a good amount. Not all the way down to his chest or anything like that, but you do get about that much range of motion. As far as his arms, these work very, very well, and they go all the way out 90 degrees to his body. There is a rotation up here actually at the shoulder. There is no true bicep rotation. Everything happens up here at the shoulder. Unfortunately, they only gave us a single joint there at the elbow. Gives it a little bit more natural look, especially if you're going to display him without the jacket on, but you only get about a 90-degree range of motion there. There's also rotation at his elbow. His wrists do rotate, and they do hinge up and down. As far as the torso, there is rotation here at the waist, and then the bulletproof vest and the pants are two separate pieces, so it does move fairly well. He does have just a little bit, actually a fairly good ab crunch there as far as moving forward, and then he really can't move back. That's about as far back as I can get him, so not a whole lot there. As far as his legs, he actually can almost do the splits. And I'm starting to get a little bit of pull right there on the crotch of the pants. Definitely don't want to rip that, but as if you go any like less than that, there's really no pull at all right there. So that's pretty good. There is a cut here at the top of the thigh, so he does rotate here at the top of the thigh. He is double jointed at his knees, so that works really, really well. And then the ankle articulation, like I said, with the two-cut boot, it actually works pretty well. Can go up and down actually quite a bit, but you do get those weird gaps. straps, as you can see. I really don't like that they did that. They do rotate side to side. There is ankle pivot. And here's just a quick size comparison with the Netflix Daredevil hot toy with the Netflix Daredevil Punisher hot toys. And honestly, I think these two look absolutely phenomenal next to one another. Punisher stands just a hair taller than Daredevil, as I believe it should be. And honestly, they're both body types work extremely well together. And as a set, this is an amazing pair. So this is going to do it for my review of the Hot Toys Netflix Daredevil Punisher. Like I said at the beginning, I honestly did not think that I was going to like this figure as much as I did. I knew the prototype images looked absolutely awesome, and I am a fairly big Punisher fan. I wouldn't say he is one of my favorite characters, but I definitely do enjoy the character, and I really like John Barenthal's interpretation of the character in Season 2 of Daredevil, and so this was one figure I definitely wanted to add to my collection, and man, am I glad I did. Like I said in my review, everything from the sculpt to the detailing in the suit to all the amazing accessories, this is definitely the must-have Punisher collectible in my honest opinion, especially if you're a big fan of the Netflix Daredevil, and coming here in the next few weeks, the solo series for Punisher, which honestly this figure has me even more excited for. I can't wait to see that series because I think they're going to knock it absolutely out of the park. The trailers look amazing. If you're a Punisher fan and you're looking for the must-have collectible, the Hot Toys Punisher is definitely a figure I highly, 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 highly recommend. So once again, I want to thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. It really does mean a lot to me you guys are watching them. Please remember to go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this figure, if you guys picked it up, what your guys' thoughts and feelings were, if you guys were kind of annoyed as I was about how they kind of branded everything Daredevil even though it's a Punisher figure. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a like if you guys did like it, and subscribe that way you don't miss out on any future reviews and my toy hunts, including a couple more Hot Toys coming, I think the end of this year, and I have a couple more pre-ordered for the beginning of next year. So a ton more Hot Toy reviews, ton more pop reviews, some toy hunts. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on any of that content. And that's going to be it for me this evening. I want to thank you guys so much once again, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.